Good morning. It is the 27th. It's Boxing Day. How are you guys doing? So today I had planned on having a tutorial up, but I don't have the time to voice that over because I haven't done that one yet. So I just thought that I would edit together like a quick vlog. Sorry, this is why I can't record anything, because interruptions. Basically, yeah, I don't have enough time to put together the tutorial. So I'm gonna try and get that done hopefully tomorrow. I don't know. Maybe if we take James out for a walk, that he might like decide that he's gonna have a nap this afternoon. It's already 12, so also sorry about this. Woke up with that this morning. Looks like I'm like growing a rhinoceros horn or something like that. Anyway, I thought that I would just come on. I have made a decision. I've made a solid decision on what I'm going to do regarding a studio and a bigger space. So I think a couple of vlogs ago, or I've been debating this for a little while, about looking for a new studio space and trying to like expand. I was mentioning on my live stream, it's very difficult at the moment to introduce new products and have somewhere to put them, because I have no extra space in this room anymore. Literally none. And I have some ideas that I want to introduce regarding like mugs and other type of like merchandise and that kind of thing for the Etsy shop. And I won't be able to do it all the while that I'm just in this room. I love working from home, and I love that I can like get up and then just kind of roll out of bed and go to work, and if there's an order that needs doing or anything like that, I can just get on and do it. But I also don't love that at the same time. I know everybody goes on like about work-life balance and that you should have separate life to work, but I think that's a very old-fashioned way of thinking about things. Like, I don't think that there should be such a balance between your life and your work. That being said, personally, I would love to go somewhere and go to work and be able to have a larger space. I don't think it's going to become a urgent reality that I'm going to be able to move house into a larger house with like the space that is needed for these expansions that I want to introduce. And I think that if I stay in this space for much longer, everything's just going to stagnate. Like, as it is, I can't really introduce that many more card designs because this is full. Sorry, got interrupted again and this thing is now being a prize pain. I can't remember what on earth I was going on about. I think it was about space. Basically, I don't think that I'm going to be able to grow as much as I like. Well, I know I'm not going to be able to grow any further in regards to like the shop kind side of things if I stay in this space. Also, just for tutorials as well, I would like a larger space so that I could have 2 or maybe 3 different cameras like around my desk. At the moment this desk is pushed up against the wall and my camera is kind of mounted onto my mantle piece at the back there. I'll show you. So my camera is kind of on this tripod arm, like this L-shaped tripod arm, and then it's screwed into the mantle back there, and then the desk is like pushed right up, and I've got minimal amounts of room. Like, I've got no leg room or anything like that because the printer's underneath there. So I would like to be able to like have my desk sort of in the middle of a room so that I could have cameras behind it and to the side so that I can get several different angles whilst recording. That's the dream. Then it would up the production value of tutorials and stuff. So yeah, I don't think, or I know I'm not going to be able to do anything like what I have planned to do for the next year if I stay in just this space. I love this studio, it's amazing, and I love how I have decorated it and like the plants, and it's just very me. Like when you walk in here you're like, oh yeah, this is Amie's studio. But I'd love to be able to do like make a larger studio my own. So basically, to cut a very long story short, if you made it this far, congratulations. Comment me a broccoli emoji in the comments. I am going to move studio. Also, what has kind of propelled this is we had very high winds and rain last night, and I said to myself like, oh my god, I really hope that it doesn't leak, because I don't know if you guys remember, like we've had problems with this roof leaking because it's not been properly like flashed in. It was kind of, my dad built this conservatory for me, and he kind of didn't odd job it, but he kind of rushed the roof thing, like he just wanted to get it done. So it wasn't like flashed in properly, it was just kind of masticed along, and it leaked whenever it rained, and it was terrible. And we couldn't really use this room. And then when I had like the ceiling put in and everything, it was still the same, but then it was leaking slightly, and then he decided like in the summer that he was going to flash it in properly, and he didn't like stick the flashing to, he did all like the mortar and the bricks and everything, but he didn't like then stick the flashing to the actual roof. So where we've had high winds and like the wind has been directly coming at the back of the house, it's lifted the flashing, all the water's got underneath, and there's towels and everything down there. You can see the water where it's been on my box of paper and stuff. There's towels on, oh, where am I? It leaked like all up there, like leaked everywhere along the joint, basically. Where you can see those bricks, it's leaked all the way along there. So I'm like, oh, I can't afford for this roof to leak and to leak over products and technology. Like I can't afford for like the water to get into the plugs and then short circuit the Mac and that kind of stuff. I mean, I have business insurance and like house insurance, but it would just be a pain basically. Anyway, so yeah, I've decided to move studio because of the leak. I don't mind if it was to leak in here. If I had like my dining room in here, that wouldn't matter to me, because it's not like a whole load of products. Like if a dining table got water on it, I could replace it easily, whereas like having a whole load of product, like all of these cards, they'd be very expensive to replace out of business funds. Like, you know, you get the idea. Anyway, so I would like to move my studio, and I would like a larger one, and I've just been looking online. Oh, non-stop interruptions. James was telling Whisper off for jumping on the table. Good boy. But also, yeah, Whisper's just sulking behind the curtain now. Yeah, I've just been looking online at the place where I'd like to go. Unfortunately, there are some offices like across the way from me, like over there, which is just by James's nursery, and that would be perfect, but they don't have any spaces to rent. You have to buy them, and I don't have a spare £134,000 to buy a retail unit. And I wouldn't want to buy a retail unit because chances are I'll probably grow larger and need a larger unit, and then have to go through the palaver of like having to sell it. So there's none to rent over there, so I've had to look elsewhere, and I was looking at these other places like in the summer. So I've decided to actually put in an inquiry and find out the price for the square footage that we would need. So I've calculated the square footage of this room. It's about 8-9 square meters. Yeah. So I'm looking at a room of about 32 square meters, which will have enough room to have separate parts of the area for both Simon and I, and then to also have room for products and then future products and expansions and that kind of stuff. So I'm looking at about 32 square meters. I probably said foot, but 32 square meters basically is my maximum that I'm looking for. But anywhere between what I have now, which is about 9 square meters, up to 32, I'm gonna just look for. So I'm trying to find a good price. These offices that I have inquired about have like broadband and everything. Not that I would necessarily need it, because I would bring videos home to upload and to edit and things. So it would just be the internet for like printing Etsy orders and stuff like that. But yeah, I just would like a space that isn't going to leak, that I can be sure of that everything's going to be safe, and yeah, somewhere that I can go and travel to. But as I said, as much as I love working from home, I would really like to go to work and do stuff and like have some set hours, but also, you know, if I need to, I can bring stuff home, like bring the Mac home and then work on stuff at home, or even purchase a MacBook for editing and stuff like that. So yeah, that is my plan. And I think in order to facilitate this quickly, a suggestion that was made by Gwen on one of my live streams over Christmas was to crowdfund it, like GoFundMe or something like that. So I've decided that I'm going to set up a Kickstarter based on getting a new studio space. And the reason that I'm kickstarting it is because I'd like to be able to make sure that I can afford the first few months rent, or like pay for a year up front, and then I know that I'm in there for a year, and then I can really work on expanding. At the moment I could, well, obviously where Simon isn't working, we don't have 2 incomes now, we're relying on my 1 income, which is fine, but adding in that extra expense of having an office unit, depending on how much it is, you know, I don't want to have to stretch myself too thin money wise. I would like to be able to live comfortably. So I'm kickstarting it because I want to make sure that I can actually afford a couple months in advance, if that makes sense. And then during those first couple months in there that have been kickstarted, then I can really work at, you know, ramping stuff up and pushing everything. Also, it would also give us a little bit of freedom. Like if I need to come into an office when James, or come to work when James is at nursery on a Tuesday and a Thursday, isn't at nursery, sorry, I can then jump in the car and go, I need to just go to work because I need to voice over something, film something, and I can just go and I don't have to worry about any background noise or anything. Also, there is a lot of background noise from the road, which is often present in tutorials, whereas if I was in an office space that wouldn't be an issue. So yes, that's what I plan to do. I probably won't get the Kickstarter up today, well I know I won't, so I'm just letting you know, and I would love your input as to whether this would be something that you would like to back, because obviously I don't want to do it in case, like, if no one's going to back it, it'd be just pointless me ploughing some effort and everything into making a Kickstarter and, you know, doing stuff. But the Kickstarter rewards would be artwork based, so I was thinking of having some smaller tiers for like new greetings cards, because I've got a whole thing planned of what I'm going to offer, and then there'll be larger backed tiers where you would get an original, because I've got a whole bunch of originals here that need to go to new homes. So I'm thinking, well, I am going to do that. So probably going to try and launch for the 1st of January, because then that would be perfect, and then it would give me a month to kind of kickstart it. And then if there's any kind of torrential rain, I'm just gonna have to cross my fingers and hope that nothing gets ruined. But yeah, I'm gonna show you, because this has been very much talking. This wasn't today's planned video, but this is just going to be one that's going to be easy for me to edit, so I hope you don't mind there not being a tutorial, but I might try and get the tutorial out tomorrow instead, But yeah, just wanted to tell you my plans. So right now I need to film a studio tour and some other bits and bobs for the next couple days in the run up to the end of December. Hopefully I can get those done. I mean, the studio tour isn't going to be that great at the moment because I've just had to kind of move stuff around to stop it getting wet. So we'll see. Anyway, I'm going to sign off. I might film some packaging because I have like a whole ton of Etsy orders. I might just leave it at this actually. I'll just leave it as this. Thank you so much for watching and hearing me ramble. I hope you've all had a good Christmas. I had a good Christmas and had a good 3 days, well 2.5 days off. I'm technically back to work now because I can't stop working. Yeah, I'll see you guys soon.